and it's called Why I Regret Transitioning, and it has the same title as it had 3 years ago, and it's essentially the same video as it was 3 years ago, but I've had a lot of time to think and a lot of time to reflect on the video. So regret transitioning at times, sometimes, about the struggles that I faced and how I didn't feel beautiful enough and how I felt like I would never be who I wanted to be, and how I felt like I had made a mistake transitioning. And it wasn't something that I always felt. It was just something that was a regular reoccurring feeling that I had, and I regretted my decision regularly. Okay.
Hey guys, it's Chloe. I'm back today with a little bit of a downer video. I'm going to be talking about why I hate being transgender. Number one is boys, and this is in no order, okay? This is just, number one is boys, and the reason is people, especially boys, just look at me differently. And that's the thing that bugs me, is because everybody's like, oh, Chloe, like, you can wear whatever you want and nobody's gonna judge you for it. But if a normal girl wore that, they'd be being called a slut. Honestly, I'd rather be called a slut than get away with it, because that just means that people don't look at me as a female. But I just really hate that, like, if you identify as a certain gender, then I don't think genitalia should define who you can be with. I constantly feel like I have to look not flawless, but I have to try my best to look like a girl. Like, I have to always look spruced up and always have makeup on whenever I'm gonna see anyone, and always wear cute clothes and keep up with all the stupid trends that are going on. Because if I don't, and if I don't look passable, I'm gonna be judged even more than I already am. And, like, that's such a awful thing to have to deal with. Like, that gives me anxiety all the time. Like, it's constantly going through my mind, like, oh my gosh, like, did they just clock me? Like, for ya. It's awful. It is atrocious waking up every single day and seeing things that you don't relate with, that you don't feel you need to have. Like, you feel disgusted. Like, I feel disgusted with my body. I feel disgusted with my body, and whenever I wake up and look in the mirror and see everything that's down there, it is so difficult for me, because I know that that's not what is supposed to be there. I know that I am supposed to be a girl.
I'm going to be talking about if I regret transitioning, and if I think that transitioning is a waste of time, a waste of money, just a phase. So I called hormone replacement therapy. A lot of the times people will bring up the argument that, oh, like, a lot of people actually decide to detransition, and that, you know, there are a lot of people that show that transitioning is not going to help you in the long run. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there are not people who regret their transition or people that do detransition, because that is true.
Hi, I'm Ashton, and today I wanted to talk about the spooky, scary topic of transition regret. Most of the time when you see people talk about this, it's transphobes saying, oh, you're gonna regret surgery, or you're gonna regret being on hormones. But honestly, take it from someone that is transitioning that my only regrets are not doing things earlier. So the first aspect of my actual physical transition was me starting birth control. And it was a pill form of birth control that was very, very low estrogen. And that might sound counterintuitive, right? If you're a trans guy, you don't want to take estrogen. But what this very low amount of estrogen was doing, or what it was supposed to do, this low amount of estrogen was supposed to halt my periods, or at least make them a lot lighter. What it did for me was give me a period for 5 months straight. I bled for 5 months straight. I have a video on it. But yeah, that was not a good time. However, I wouldn't say that I regret going on that birth control, as it was my first step that felt real. Even though, you know, I'd chosen a name and I'd asked to go by different pronouns, starting that medical thing, having that physical pill in my mouth was an emotional thing for me that I was like, I'm doing something about this, I'm changing my body. And it's not something that people should be put off by. The next physical aspect of my transition was testosterone. And I started testosterone injections a bit over 11 months ago, like 11 and a half months ago. And there are two things that I regret about testosterone. Not starting it earlier, as I said. Overall, hormone-wise, I just wish that I had known I was trans earlier. I wish I had the words to say that I was trans when I was younger so that I could have been on blockers. I never would have had to get top surgery. I could have just gone on hormones, my chest would have stayed flat, and I would have developed like any other guy. So, do I regret my transition, as in, do I want to be a woman again? No. Hell no, 100% no. Definitively no, not at all. As for other aspects of regret, there are things that I can't change and things that I'm just coming to accept and learn from. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you live a life with regrets that you can accept and learn from. And I will talk to you later, maybe.
It's makeup. I have not slept from going out last night. I left at like 10, and I'm just getting back, and it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I wanted to address this while it was still really fresh in my head. I got a comment on one of my other videos. Now the comment, it was basically, I was linked to 3 videos. Each one being each trans girl, and they've turned over a new leaf, and they were saved through Jesus Christ, and detransitioned. And I was asked my views on it, and from a religious person, so I'm still not yet sure if this was kind of like a, oh, you know, you trans can, you know, or whatever. First and foremost, I am trans, and I am irrevocably proud.
Hey there, Jonah here with my second video on why I quit testosterone. I know it took a couple months longer to make this than I had originally anticipated, but I'm here now, and that's what matters. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for hearing me. I'm very honored to talk with you today. I think that I really need to begin this video by saying that the reason that I knew I was transgender, and the reason that I've heard a lot of my transgender friends echo, is because I have body dysphoria. That I would find congruence as the hormones aligned my brain with my body. You know, I thought that as soon as I went on testosterone, my body was going to do this song and dance. Like, yes, that is the stuff. That is the stuff that we've been missing all these years. All these years. Where did you find that? Where did you find that? Now that we have that, we're complete. We're good. We're set for life. We're good. But that didn't happen. Outwardly, there was congruence. You know, I passed as male 100% of the time. I got the pronoun that I wanted. Nobody gave me shit anymore. That part of my life had improved immensely. But in here, there was no aligning of planets. There was only sacrifice. Over time, I watched the few people close to me who had not disowned me. I watched them come to look at me and not recognize me. It got to the point where one day I looked in the mirror and I ran my hand across my thickening jawline and across my stubble that I had waited for so long for. So long for that stubble. And I looked in the mirror and I didn't know who I was. And I felt like a traitor. I missed myself. And I realized this is not harmony. This is just one more day of hiding. I can hide. I can hide my birth. I can hide my socialization. I can hide my feminine face. Everything behind this jawline, behind this facial hair. And that's all that I had ever wanted. That's all I had ever wanted, was to pass as male. Not as female, not as transgender, just as male. And passing ended up denying my right to a history. And I have a very rich history and a very good story because of who I am. And if people look straight through me and see just a he, just a sir, then that history has been erased. I have silenced myself for a pronoun. It is very tempting to believe that I am fully male, that I am testosterone, that I am muscle mass, that I am stubble, because this has always told me that I am. But you know what? I am inside of a female vessel. And no matter how I shape it, no matter how I inject it, no matter how I cut it, that's not going to change. I cannot undo birth. I cannot undo socialization. I cannot shave off a large part of myself and throw it away and pretend that it never existed. The hard truth for me, the very, very hard truth that I had to realize, is that I will never be cisgender. I will never have a cisgendered experience. I will never have complete alignment between my body and my brain. And you know what? That doesn't make me a half-functioning individual. It just makes me different. And different is okay, because there's a reason for it. So, why? Why was I striving so hard to gain something that was impossible? And what should I be striving for instead? To fulfill my purpose as an individual with a transgender experience, rather than to be blending in as another cisgender guy. To be the hybrid that I was born to be. You know, I am a hybrid with a story of bothness, and in a world of black and white. Gray has unlimited potential to change things. You know, I have been given something very special, and while I do believe that I'm trans, and I absolutely believe that something happened in the womb, something different happened, and this developed one way, and this developed another way, and out came me, what I don't believe is that it was an accident. I believe that it happened for a very specific reason, and I am not going to learn that reason on testosterone. Injecting myself in the thigh every week did not bring me closer to the truth. It just helped to mask the pain for one more week. It just helped to mask the pain. As a trans person, as a hybrid, my very existence defies the concept of a binary. But the irony of this is inescapable. Because for the world to recognize me in my natural position and not as speak. If your purpose is not to speak, and you want to be stealth, and you just want to pass, then I applaud you. I love you, and I will help you through it. I'm just saying that I can't do it. That doesn't make me a disgrace to the transgender race. It doesn't mean I'm detransitioning. It simply makes me a spokesperson for equality. Yours, and mine, and everyone else's who believes that you have to be black or white to be human. Your humanity is not contained in your vessel. that's all I really have to say on that specific subject. Thank you for watching. I'm really very honored to discuss this with you. I would still love to hear your story and your perspective. Please post it below. Let's talk about this. This is an open discussion. I would also like to say that my next video coming up is also related to testosterone, and it is entitled Privileges Earned.
9 years on testosterone, and I am, like, you know, extremely stressed. I have surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery. I've almost completed bottom surgery. It has been extremely painful, it has been extremely long-winded, and it has put my life on hold. Warning for guys who think that bottom surgery is going to be a breeze. It is not. You're not. It's just every expectation I had is out the window. It is just, it's unexplainable in the video about bottom surgery. I am warning anybody who is maybe thinking of getting bottom surgery to honestly think of the entire picture. You have to. I did, but I ignored all my thoughts. I ignored my feelings, and I went and had bottom surgery, and now I am in agony all the time. I'm not saying that's going to be you or somebody else, but I am. And I did nothing wrong other than stick to what I was supposed to do, which was rest, eat good, my body is in good physical health, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. The surgery didn't go great for me. My surgery failed, and I had a second one, and recovering from that, I've got a surgery in December for the completion, like everything to be finished and whatnot, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm not like the really brainy kind of like YouTuber who can like explain to you guys in detail what part of the surgery I'm at and all of that, because to be fair, if you know about bottom surgery, then you should know like what stage is for what and what stage I'm at. I don't really like to talk about it in too much detail because it is kind of like, I feel kind of weird, like I'm talking to a screen about like all these private things, and then it's going on a social media networking site where anyone can view it, and it's just weird. I know some people that don't mind doing that, but I'm not quite out there like that yet. I never have been. So surgery thing is definitely something for people to think about. Years later, down on testosterone, and I feel like I'm kind of ruined. Mentally and physically. The good effects of testosterone stopped at maybe 3 years. I had this really sexy high schooler looking kind of thing going on, and I looked really like a jock type shit. I looked good. And then 4 and 5 and 6 years started creeping up, and then, you know, my hairline started creeping back, and, you know, the facial hair obviously came in full force, but I realized it didn't look good on me, so I used to shave it off. I still do. Like, this is a fresh face. I'm normally like, my beard's normally out there. And yeah, and my mental is just like all over the place. That's due to like life stress, as well as like, you know, the tea and everything, and just everything, like everything. I'd give a massive warning, just a huge warning to anybody who is thinking of transitioning or who has transitioned. And I would just say, like, you've got to honestly have the most durable, strongest mind ever. You've got to have like an out of this world type mind, because I